think of robots in healthcare, we often imagine highly advanced and expensive technologies. But what if innovation didn't have to be complex to be impactful? Healthcare systems today are not only battling diseases, they are also battling time, workload, and workforce shortages. In many cases, even the simplest tasks, such as transporting medicine, can add to the burden of healthcare professionals. This raises an important question. What if a simple robot could already make a difference? Good day, everyone. My name is Juliana Elise Ferrer Balatbat.
I am Cziaris Deanne M. Delos Reyes. And I'm Sarah Gabriel E. Bonaventura.
We are senior high school students from the Meridian International Learning Experience from the Philippines. Today, we are going to present our study entitled Development of a Line-Following Robotic Prototype for Medicine and Basic Medical Item Transport in Healthcare Facilities. With that, let's now proceed with our study. In the chart, it is shown that in the Philippines, the healthcare system is currently facing a significant workforce shortage. Based on the data shown, there is a clear gap between the projected demand and available supply of healthcare workers in the country. This shortage has serious implications such as delays in delivering patient care, increased workload and burnout among healthcare workers, reduced overall efficiency in healthcare facilities. Because of this growing shortage, there is a strong need for support systems that can assist healthcare workers, especially in routine and repetitive tasks. This is where innovations such as robotics can play an important role in helping bridge the existing gap. Robotics refers to the use of automated machines to assist in medical tasks, improving efficiency, accuracy, and safety. Globally, robotics is already being used in advanced healthcare systems. For example, is the Da Vinci surgical system and the double robotics. And in the Philippine context, adoption is still at its early stage. Some examples include the LISA robot, the RoviDoc, and an I3S program initiated by the government. Despite these developments, there are still major challenges. Most healthcare robots are expensive and complex to operate. This creates a gap for healthcare facilities that cannot afford or easily use such technologies. With that, this issue leads to the research gap that there is a need for a solution that is affordable, simple to use, and practical for real healthcare settings. To address this gap, our study developed Kalinga, a line-following robotic prototype for transporting medicine and basic medical items. More than just a name, we chose Kalinga, a Filipino term that means care and compassion, which values that reflect our goal of supporting healthcare workers and improving patient care service. Our objectives are to evaluate the success rate of the robot in completing its tasks, conduct multiple trials to ensure consistency and reliability, and simulate a clinic-like environment to test real-world application. Most importantly, our study focuses on usability, practicality, and user-friendliness, because technology should not only be advanced, it should also be accessible and easy to use.
Guided by these objectives, our study has adopted an experimental single-group repeated measure design where it allows the robot prototype to undergo multiple trials within a controlled environment. That is where we set the distance, there is a fixed obstacles, and there is same starting point for the testing. Shown on the screen is the 3D model of Kalinga, a robot prototype that is intentionally designed to be simple, user-friendly, and streamlined to prioritize storage, transportation, and ease of use. The bottom part of the body is where the chassis is, where components that allow the robot to work are placed. This could be seen on the right side of the 3D model. It consists of the Arduino board, 4 TT gear motors, 3 line tracking sensors, servo and ultrasonic sensors that are from an existing kit named LabFin Smart Card that we utilized. And additional components such as the DC-DC step-down converter, additional lithium-ion batteries, and buttons are imported as we deem needed while developing our prototype. The scope of this prototype covers the transport of specific medical items such as rubbing alcohol, ointments, cough lozenges, face masks, and other basic medical supplies. In addition, selected over-the-counter medicines or OTC meds are included, ensuring that the robot is capable of supporting non-critical healthcare responsibilities within a clinical setting. However, it is important to note that the robot is limited to non-critical medical tasks. It does not include It does not extend to advanced clinical procedures or emergency medical responses and is intended only in facilities with an existing clinic or infirmary. To evaluate the performance of Kalinga, our prototype, and determine its success rate, predefined route setup was created using a black electrical tape on a white surface, counting to 3 different points to stimulate a clinical environment where medicine transport occurs from a home point, which represents the nurse station, to a designated point that represents the patient stations or rooms. For its working principle or the logic of our code, the flowchart there shows that the robot step-by-step decision process as it performs its delivery task. The robot first starts from a starting point, and upon receiving a command from the button of the IR remote control, the robot follows a predefined track while continuously scanning for obstacles. Navigation decisions such as forward movement, turning, and stopping are determined by the program logic based on the real-time readings from the left, middle, and right line sensors. And when the program stop pattern, which is 111 at the delivery point, is detected, the robot stops and waits for a go home command. And then it returns to the home point using the same line following and obstacle avoidance logic.
As we proceed to data collection, the prototype underwent trial testing across 4 different conditions to evaluate its performance under various route distances. For our testing, we specifically performed the individual functions of moving forward and turning. For the function moving forward, the robot achieved a 100% success rate without obstacles, demonstrating highly reliable and accurate path following under controlled conditions. Even with the introduction of obstacles, the robot maintained a 65% success rate, indicating a strong capability to adapt and navigate despite added complexity. This suggests that the system remains functional and responsive in more challenging environments, supporting findings that mobile robots can sustain effective path tracking performance even as tasks require continuous adjustments. For the function of turning right, the robot achieved a 95% success rate at a shorter route distance of 0.35 meters, indicating strong precision and consistency in executing turns over shorter paths. At a longer distance of 1 meter, the success rate decreased to 60%. However, this still reflects a moderate level of performance despite the increased complexity and longer navigation time. This suggests that the robot maintains its turning capability even as distance increases, though with the expected variability due to accumulated path deviations. This is consistent with findings that path tracking accuracy tends to decrease as movement distance and track complexity increase. Notably, the trials were divided into 4 sets with 5 trials each, and this set recorded the highest success rate among all sets, further supporting the reliability of observed results. In addition, the prototype was tested along a continuous path to further evaluate its performance in a more dynamic condition, and as a result, the robot's performance successfully recognized junctions during navigation, though it may rely on micro adjustments. From the data we have gathered, these suggest that Kalinga is most effective in controlled or semi-structured environments, such as clinic pathways with minimal obstacles. At the same time, its ability to function under obstructed conditions highlights its potential applicability in real-world healthcare settings where minor obstacles are unavoidable. In conclusion, this study set out to design and develop Kalinga, a robotic assistant capable of transporting basic medical supplies within healthcare facilities. The results demonstrate that Kalinga can reliably perform line-following tasks and maintain functional navigation even in the presence of obstacles, confirming its effectiveness in handling non-clinical logistical responsibilities. Additionally, this study highlights the practical potential of integrating affordable robotic systems into healthcare settings, particularly in supporting routine tasks and reducing the workload of medical professionals. Moving forward, enhancements in obstacle detection, navigation, accuracy over long distances, and system automation are recommended to further improve performance and adaptability. That would be all for our presentation. Thank you all for listening.